video games, the more you support a genuine creative outlet for a lot of kids. Would you rather they be on the streets doing things they definitely shouldn't do? Would you rather they do anything else? I wouldn't. These are kids that aren't going to do sports. These are kids that are going to do video games or nothing. I would much rather support them in that than have what they love die.
All right, welcome back to our third episode of the Underqualified Untitled Podcast. It is Thursday, November 12th, 2020, and it's currently 10:32 p.m. on the Eastern Time, or Eastern Side. Again, this is the third episode for us, for our podcast. The intro that you just saw, was one of our backlog episodes that we recorded a couple weeks ago. We record some backlog episodes just in case we're unable to go live, and with the next couple of weeks, we may, or definitely in 2 weeks, because in 2 weeks we got Thanksgiving coming up and we won't be able to do a live show. And that's just a sneak peek of what is to come. We recorded an episode entirely on esports. Finn had some great commentary and insight, and I clipped out a really good part of that episode that I felt was really important to emphasize. We are a variety show. Our title says Untitled Underqualified. And even then, that title, that name of our show may change, which is why we haven't even haven't created a Facebook or a Twitter page yet, just because we don't have a final name. We are full-time students, and Finn is a full-time employee, so on internship also. So we may not have the time to do this creative endeavor as much as we probably should, but that will come at a later time. Again, you're joined, you in your living room or whatever, on the bathroom, on your toilet, wherever you are consuming this media. I'm Jason. Finn is on the right side of your screen. You can find him on Twitter at skidap. Finn, how you doing today?
Dude, I am so tired. It's not even funny.
So, is that just becoming that part of the time in the year where it's just...
We're just there.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, which is why we may have to go to the backlog next week. Definitely Thanksgiving, but we should be back. And keyword there is should. We should be back live in December if we don't get a live episode out next week. So I wanted to start off, I guess, this entire episode is going to be based off of a photo that Finn initially found on Twitter. And I'm going to display it here on screen. It's going to be really tiny for you guys. It's really tiny for me to see, and you can't even really see it that well. But I have it pulled up on my phone here, and it is 30 questions, and it's basically get to know us. So this episode, we will be taking this time to answer these questions that we have here. Also, if you are in chat, drop some questions. We will answer them. Guaranteed, we will. No question is off limits. If you want to know what time we sleep every day, that could be an answer, even though we may not give an answer, because who knows if we even sleep at all. We're both tired. So really, ask us anything if you are watching this live. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel at Underqualified Podcast on YouTube, I'm sorry, that we won't be able to answer any of your comments or questions that you have there. If you want, you can join us live every Thursday, 9:30 Central Time, 10:30 Eastern. And we want to be engaging with everybody that comes in. So, Finn, I guess should we start with this, or you got anything more to add? You got anything more to add to this?
No, let's rock and roll, dude. So, Jason, explain your Twitter handle.
My Twitter handle is on the left side of your screen. It's at @J_Wrangle33. There really isn't anything super interesting about it, more than it's just the first initial of my name, and then there's the underscore. I don't know why, I just put an underscore there. Wrangle is a name. It's also a name. And then 33 at the end is when I played basketball when I was younger, 33 was a number that I wore. I wore 33 and 32. I don't know why I just got drawn to 33 more. Maybe it's just repetitive or symmetry, I guess, even though it's not really symmetrical. But that's just what I went with, and because I'm not a very creative person with coming up with names, as indicated by the title of our podcast, that names are hard. Names are hard, and which is it's a really good thing that I'm not getting married or gonna have any children, because I wouldn't know what to name my children at all. Finn, explain yours.
Oh man, mine's pretty simple. Guy in high school, had a Clash of Clans and a Clash Royale account named Skeedap. And when I went off to college, all of the names that I had used up till then were taken on Steam. So I picked Skeedap. And now Skeedap's mine.
I'm surprised that wasn't taken at all, like on Twitter.
I'm also surprised that it wasn't taken on Twitter. But he, I'm not gonna like dox him or anything. I'm not gonna tell you guys what his actual thing is. But he's got one that like works for him. It makes sense, and he's had it for a while. So
is he gonna sue you for taking his name, trademark infringement?
I hope so. Then I have an excuse to leave the country and just disappear forever.
I guess maybe then I'll add a question then in here. I don't believe this is on here. I haven't really read through all these questions. Look at how prepared we are. This is why we are Untitled Underqualified. We're a free flowing program, so we just want to have fun with it. We hope you guys have fun with it too. So then, I guess if you had to leave the country, where would you go?
Oh, Guatemala.
Guatemala.
Yeah.
You want to explain that? Or is it just a random country?
If you need to explain Guatemala, then that explains why you're going to Guatemala.
Fair enough, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't really think about if we're putting that question at me. I can't really think of one. Probably really far away. I wouldn't know where though. I guess I'll give a very stupid answer and say the North Pole, even though there's no land up there. But I'll just say the North Pole.
All right, Jason. Who inspires you and why?
Are we talking like a specific person or what? Hey
man, it's up to you.
So there's a ton of people that inspire me. Everybody that I meet inspires me in some way. You know.
Oh yeah, dude.
Either whenever I meet somebody, I learn something from them, at least something. Sometimes it's positive. Most of the time it's positive. Sometimes it's negative. Like, my God, you are dumb. But yeah, sometimes I do learn those things about themselves. But I guess the first person that comes to mind is probably 9 Inch Nails founder and frontman Trent Reznor. Not only do I appreciate the music that he does, me as a, I guess, former musician / sometimes musician. Sometimes I create music, but most of the time I'm not as I don't make as much music as I did when I was in high school. So that would have been like,
for those of you that are wondering, Jason actually created the short little diddly that you hear at the beginning of every show.
Yeah, it was and the funny story behind that is that I created it. I think 20 minutes before we went live on our first episode. So, so if it sucks, that explains why it sucks, and if it's really good, then you're too kind, I guess. But the reason why Trent Reznor inspires me, because there was an interview from 2005 that I discovered 12 years later. So I was just randomly browsing. Actually, no, I think I found it 13 years later. So I think I was randomly browsing in 2018, in spring of 2018 one time, and I found an old interview that he did with Spin Magazine. And this interview was kind of like a promotional interview for his next album, or for Nine Inch Nails' next album, With Teeth, which released in 2005. And
yes, Lab Potato, we are Iowa State fans. I feel like we have a reason to be biased as kind of go there.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I got a little bit of decorations here.
Jason's an engineer, so it made sense for him. I just really like to pay money that I don't have, so it also made sense for me.
I think that's, applies to both of us, though. That we like to spend money that we don't have and to an institution that we support. And calling me an engineer is very generous. It's very, very generous. Oh yeah, so Iowa State. Iowa State students. Wow, I was going to talk like Yoda. Iowa State students, we are. Wow. This is why I'm in engineering and not, English. But going back to why Trent Reznor
isn't the dropout rate for the English department like 70-some%?
English department?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I really don't know.
Dude, it's stupid high. It's nuts. It makes us look dumb.
I'm trying to think of. I mean, there's Library 160 that a lot of people fail that class. So
Library 160 is wicked because you just forget it's there.
Brutal.
Engineering.
The dropout rate in engineering, I wouldn't have those numbers. I really don't know. What do you consider dropout? Like complete dropout of the university? Or you could talk. There's like, you switch. So a lot of engineers switch over to business because engineering is a beast. It's a beast, and depending on what field of engineering you are in, it could be the difference between fighting a dragon versus fighting an arrogant person who really thinks that they're right all the time. So basically a politician. So it can be either hard or extremely, extremely hard, near impossible. Like how many stayed from engineering from freshman to graduation? From what I heard, like 50%. I mean, that would sound about right. Our actual retention rate for the university as a whole went up over the past 4 years. We had when I was a freshman, we had a very, very nice retention rate of 69%. Very nice. And that has gone up about 3% to 72% when I last saw. You guys are in chemistry or I am electrical engineering. Finn is not an engineering student. He is kinesiology. So
sir, I'm an exercise nerd.
Yes, so he's actually he's more useful to life than me. He's more useful to whoever, if he has ever dates anybody or just meets anybody, he can explain what's wrong. He won't be able to explain what's wrong with you mentally, but he can explain what's wrong with you physically. And help you.
Mentally, that's a whole other problem.
And help you improve. Sausage Town dude in some random ass major like English. I don't get it.
Pretty much.
I guess. We'll go with that. Thanks, Lab Potato, for your wonderful insight. Lab Potato, I won't ask. I just won't ask. I'm assuming maybe food science is what you're into, but so going back to I guess what I was talking about before we started talking about our majors. I mean, yeah, this is a Q&A kind of show today, so we're all for asking or answering those questions. So Trent Reznor, he had this interview with Spin Magazine that was in 1999, he released The Fragile, which was a double album that was a beast of its own. And following The Fragile, and it says that on their discography website, saying that after nearly dying from touring the Fragile, because apparently he had overdosed on China white heroin, mistaking it for cocaine when he was in London, and so
Dude, that's sick.
yeah. So then there was this the cover. Maybe I'll bring it up here, but basically the cover said it was just a picture of Trent Reznor before the release of With Teeth, saying, "I was clearly trying to kill myself." Let me see if I can find that and display it if I can. I want to see if I can find it.
Lab Potato, I do know Game Renegades. Remember I just found it again. I remember reading about them in an Iowa State Daily article about a year and a half ago. I found it, and I love the caption because it says the Game Renegades Club allows students to compete against each other in a variety of video games, such as esports. Because my favorite video game is competitive video games.
He is our actual resident expert. He is not underqualified to speak on esports. Phase up. There it is.
Phase the fuck up, man.
So he's actually qualified to speak on issues like that. But I found an image of the article or the cover, but it's so tiny that nobody would be able to actually read it. But basically, it detailed him basically finding sobriety after destroying himself both mentally and physically while making the albums and touring them. He was he was battling alcoholism. I'm not sure if he might even have been an alcoholic. And I remember there was an interview later on, I think an actual video interview that he said how am I gonna feel right before I get on stage? Like, am I gonna wanna have a drink? And so I guess he's an inspiration to me, just for him being able to overcome those hardships that he had. Because when he was creating The Fragile, his maternal grandmother, his primary caretaker when he was younger, passed away, and so a lot of The Fragile was dedicated to her, and he was just in a massive amount of pain, emotional pain, recording it. And it kind of comes out on the album, and it's a really fantastic album, but it's really also at the same time sad to know that he was self-destructing for years on end. And it even took David Bowie, when he toured with David Bowie in 95, to kind of help him get sober. And so I guess
it took David Bowie to help him get sober.
Yeah, David Bowie. So when they toured together in 95/96, I guess Bowie took Trent aside and said something like, listen, I've been there before, and Bowie was there before. He when he created his album Low, I don't remember what year that was released, but he created that album. He was basically in Trent's position, really kind of questioning, what is he doing, and just kind of undergoing. I'm not sure if Bowie was just depressed or if he was, actually just had a drug problem or whatever like that. But he had that problem, and so I guess Bowie kind of talked with Trent, and Trent really took to heart what he had to say, and it was I think Bowie inspired him to go to rehab. And he went to rehab before he recorded The Fragile, and he went to rehab, but he relapsed while recording The Fragile. And he went to rehab after recording The Fragile, and that was that second visit, or whatever that final visit to rehab is, where he really cleaned up his act. And when Bowie passed away in 2016, I believe it was, late 2016, early 2017, that hit Trent hard. So there's a lot of things that basically you're losing an inspiration for him. So I know I went off topic there a bit, but yeah, Bowie helped Trent. So and just I think for me, it's just Trent's ability to overcome And that just doesn't apply to Trent. Like, Trent's not an inspiration. It's not just Trent. You know, a bunch of people that inspire me are people that are able to overcome tragedies, hardships, or anything like that. I could talk about, you know, my prior relationships too. The people that I've dated, they inspire me, and you know, they inspired me then. They still inspire me now. That the fact that they're able to overcome. So, for me, the biggest factor is the biggest source of inspiration is how you are able to overcome tragedies and how you are able to overcome hardships. It's really inspiring to me. I know I gave a really, really lengthy answer, like super, super lengthy answer. I apologize for that, but
that was a good answer. I like that. I like that a lot.
I wanted to give some details of that. First,
I like that a lot.
So after my long ass response, we may have forgotten the question. So I guess for your turn, who inspires you and why?
I'm inspired by anybody that chooses to stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves. That's it. Anybody that chooses to do that.
Anybody?
It doesn't matter if you do it successfully. You tried. That's what matters to me.
So really, it's for you. It's not. It's effort. The effort is what matters, and I appreciate that.
It's the effort behind the action.
So like, if they were doing it for attention, you would despise them.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
Fair
like
enough.
all the celebrities, like when, oh man, what's the fucking tall Jenner that decided to be in that Pepsi commercial where she stopped a riot with that Pepsi?
I don't know this commercial.
Dude, they took it off the air after like a day. It was bad.
I'm also a Coca-Cola person though, but
She walks it. I'm a Pepsi guy because I like the sweeter flavor. So I was like, just absolutely. Oh man, it was bad. She walks into a full-scale like South American riot. This was happening during like all of the South and Latin American coups. So like, it's pretty bad. When she walks up to the police with a Pepsi, hands it to them. Oh no! Suddenly everybody's partying in the streets.
why would Pepsi even roll this?
Because it's topical.
I feel like they should know better though. Pepsi would know better.
No.
I would assume, but
No.
that's
Nobody knows better.
that's actually pretty disgusting.
Nobody knows better. Yeah, no, it was bad. I've said some pretty bad things in my life, but nothing close to
Because
that.
in that scenario, you are actually stuff that we say we're not profiting off of what we say.
No.
But
No, and at the
Pepsi-
same time, it's usually a mistake or a misunderstanding. I like to think so, at least.
Oh, well.
Unless it's all like, man, I hate the minorities, and that's gonna get clipped. I can guarantee it. Oh wait, nobody's watching. But it's like, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that's really bad. But then suddenly it's all like, you say something like you make a joke about somebody with a lisp. Because some people that have lisps, they tend to like when somebody that doesn't have a speech impediment will help them out and repeat what they say.
Mhm.
But a lot of people that have speech impediments don't like that at all. And so, making a joke about people with a speech impediment not accepting it, that's fine. It's not going to hit with every audience. But in the end, it's a misunderstanding because you're not attacking people with a speech impediment. You're attacking people that are self-righteous pricks. Or at least I think so. I don't know.
I know. I agree with that there. I do agree with that. That it's like, I feel like we try. I mean, the intent is behind it is nice, but there gets to a point.
There's no malintent behind it.
I feel like we're trying too hard though at sometimes. If that makes any sense. Or
Maybe.
or we're trying to be understanding when really we don't need to be. Maybe, I don't know, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound
I don't
right.
know. I don't know.
Can't really get those thoughts that I have out in the words. But yeah.
So, the next question. Jason, do you care what people think about you?
I'd like to say no, but I mean, I don't know. I guess it's both yes and no. I guess it just depends on the subject and the person. I always want to, improve my life. I try to take some criticism when I can. I'm getting better about taking criticism. I used to be pretty terrible about it, but it's all a part about growing up. So I don't know. It's both yes and no. It just depends on what is being said.
Sure.
You?
No, I really couldn't give less of a shit what you think about me.
That's actually a really good mindset to have.
You're either there to help me or you're not. Like, you're either riding with me or you're not. That's it. I'll take your criticism. That's fine. If you're giving me criticism, that's fine. Only a fool doesn't listen to advice. You don't have to take the advice, but you got to listen to it. But no, I really couldn't give less of a shit what people think about me. Genuinely, if you think I'm an asshole, fine, cool, good for you. If you think that I'm the best thing since sliced bread, nice. I really appreciate that. Thanks. But I don't care either way. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna do me, and you're gonna do you. We won't do each other probably.
I hope not.
Never. Christmas is coming up. Never say never.
Oh,
so Jason, what are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the end of the semester, I guess, at the moment. I could say something else, but if I said that answer, anybody that is either currently watching it or will watch this down the line will be deeply concerned. So I won't go that route. But for me, it's just I'm ready for the end of the semester. I'm ready for a break. It's been brutal. What about you? What are you looking forward to?
Right now, my next drink.
Your next drink.
Right now, my next drink.
Is talking to me really make you drink? Am I that bad? Am I that bad?
It's the tangents about David Bowie, man. I just can't take them. Man. It's every night, guys.
I know, man.
You might not think it is, but it's just every night.
But Bowie just,
Bowie he just floats your boat.
Yeah.
No. In reality, what I'm most looking forward to is just for things to kind of go back to normal. For things to get to the point where I don't have to worry about going to visit my girlfriend. I don't have to worry about whether or not my place of work is going to shut down. Or I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to worry about whether or not I'm going to be employed next summer. Whether or not I'm going to be able to work, period, ever. And right now that's uncertain, and it's very unfortunate. So I'm just ready for life to kind of go back to normal. Oh, and for Daft Punk to release a new album. It's been almost 8 years. Come on, guys.
I didn't know they had a new album coming out.
We don't. We don't know. We don't know.
Okay.
It's been over 7 years since Random Access Memories came out.
That was the last one?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Everybody thought there was going to be an Alive 2017 tour, and I was willing to go to a different country to watch that.
I think you and my sister-in-law would get along well, because
Alive 2007 is absolutely one of my favorite albums ever, and it's a live concert.
I'd have to brush up on Daft Punk discography. The only ones I know of are Discovery and whatever album had Robot Rock on it.
Robot Rock was Human After All.
I just know about Discovery.
Same one as Television.
I just know about Discovery just because of there was that movie like Interstellar or something.
Interstellar 5555.
Yeah, which was basically
It's just a massive
Yeah.
music video for the entire album.
Yeah. And
I watched that, and now I want to watch it while high on LSD.
that was
I feel
actually,
like that would be I feel like that would be a religious experience.
now I'm intrigued. I am thinking like, how would that work out? I feel like you could probably get really sad though watching it too though, because there's like some
Dude, you get sad watching it sober.
True. So
It's a fully cohesive story.
I don't know if LSD is probably the best choice to take while watching that, because I've heard that when you're on LSD,
shrooms then.
I've heard that when you take LSD, you have to be like in the right mood. Like if you are already happy, then you're going to be happy. But if you're sad, it's just going to make you even worse. I don't know,
man. I'm always depressed. It's not going to change anything.
This is why we need drugs.
This is why I drink.
And we are already demonetized. We are demonetized right now.
All right. Next question. Question number 5. What is one life rule that you follow?
Oh, God. I'm going to defer to you first because I don't know.
All right. I've got one very simple life rule. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing the best that you can. It doesn't matter if your best is picking up that weight and putting it right back down. It doesn't matter if your best is tying your shoes, walking to the front door, and taking them off. If it's worth doing, do it. Don't half-ass it. Buy in. You're never going to get anywhere if you don't buy in. You want to become fit? Buy in. Eat less or more. Eat what you need to reach your goal weight. Start lifting weights. Start doing cardio. Start anything. If it's worth it, do your research. Figure it out. Buy in. Pay somebody to hold you accountable. That's great. Don't have to do research. You've got somebody that's doing all of the hardest part for you. And you're paying them money. So why wouldn't you just keep doing it? Why wouldn't you go all in? You're spending money on it now. And that goes with anything. You want to make a podcast? Do it better than we are. I shit you not. We have, 3 backlog episodes? Or is it just 2?
We got 2. We're going to have a third one sometime this weekend.
We're going to have a third one here sometime this weekend. Recorded. Jason's going to edit them because he has them just on his desktop already.
We ran out of space on our Google Drive. Thanks, Google, for only giving us 15 gigabytes when we do video work. Yeah. But... And don't I don't want anybody that's watching this video later on to think like, oh man, you just shoved it on Jason. No. I swear I offered, didn't I? Yeah, right? You offered.
Yeah, okay.
You offered. The problem is it's just the accessibility to the files, and that's the only one, time and accessibility to the files is the only issue that we have at the moment. If we had, a terabyte of cloud storage, that'd be great. Then we can access that stuff on the fly, but we don't.
But then, we've got those. We just need to get a little bit of editing done on them, and then they can be scheduled to go up, or we can just say put them on YouTube and keep them private or unlisted, and until we need to put them up. We're not putting a ton of effort in, mostly because we're just doing this for fun. Mm-hmm. Is this podcast really worth doing? Not when you think about it. We're just doing this mostly to pass the time. I'm mostly doing this so that I can keep connected with Jason. Because I've been very sad not being connected with.
He's been on an internship.
With all of my homies.
Yep. I think there's a story of the story of how we met is in one of our backlog episodes. So that
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to say that live of how we met sometime if the backlog episode doesn't make it up. If it doesn't make it up there. But yeah, the podcast is really just, we wanted to be different. We wanted to be different. We wanted to do something with really the only goal of just having fun. We aren't here to, oh man, we gotta get picked up by NBC or ESPN or Vox Media.
Guys, the Ringer picked us up. Ah!
Yeah, we're not here to profit off of it. If that happens, cool, like awesome. But that's not like our primary goal. When your primary goal starts to become, when your hobby starts to become your primary goal of making money, that's when things stop being fun. And what I learned from a great person that I learned in 2019, if something isn't fun, if something isn't easy, and if it's not what you expect, then quit. Stop what you're doing. Thank you, Hannah Randolph, for teaching me that lesson. So, I mean, it's a good...
Disagree.
You disagree?
I disagree with a little bit of that, if I'm being honest. If it's not easy, okay, life's not easy. Genuinely, life's not easy. Is your school easy?
No.
Okay, then quit.
I have once already. I have once already.
If it is your school what you expected?
Okay, now you're finding flaws in that logic. All right, that's not my logic though. It's not my logic.
Here's the thing: do you think my job's easy?
Oh hell no, absolutely not.
I'm not gonna quit. Fuck that. My job's not what I expect any day. If it was, oh man, that would be a bad sign. I expect the unexpected, but I don't expect what happens. Here's the thing. The day that what I do isn't fun is the day that I start working. As of right now, 21 and a half years into my life, I have not worked a single day. And I've held 6 jobs. I have not worked a single day in my life. And I'm proud of that.
I really don't know what to say because, you really make some great points.
Dude, I'm the most profound person that I know. I should write a fucking philosophy book, dude.
And I'll what is it, the foreword, like when you have somebody else like sign the first page of the book.
Yeah.
I'll be the one that has like foreword by whatever, even though I don't even know what a foreword is, like the importance of a foreword, but whatever. I'll be it.
And it'll just be you talking about the Oklahoma game, or not the Oklahoma game, the Kansas volleyball game.
I'm not even sure how forewords work, so I stopped reading. I kind of stopped reading books once I entered college. Not a good thing, but I started reading I stopped reading like actual books written by normal human beings and started reading textbooks written by freaks.
All right, here's what we're going to do. First episode of 2021, if we go that long, Jason and I are going to each read half of a book that I'll pick. It won't be one that I've read. We're going to each read half of the book. I'll give him the first half. I'll take the second half. What we need to do is we need to try and piece the book together in like a 2-hour mega episode. No, it'll be the last episode of 2020 or first episode of 2021, depending on how it all ends up. And we will be together doing it live for like 2 hours. It'll be sick. There you go. Boom. We just came up with that episode live.
I am scared now. I am scared.
It'll be the most underqualified podcast.
Can we get assigned the Very Hungry Caterpillar?
No, I was thinking more so like Horton Hears a Who or How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Okay. You know how the Grinch Stole Christmas will work because it'll be around
That's
that time.
such a long book.
Oh, never mind.
It's like 60 pages.
Oh yeah. Oh, God, you know I
For
haven't
a
read
Dr. Seuss
God,
book.
I haven't read 60 pages of an actual casual leisure book, and I don't know how long. I've read 60 pages of a textbook before, but not casual leisure reading. Maybe that's something I need to go back to. Even though I have books, I do have books in my apartment, but I just don't have them. Like they're just sitting in a tote.
Have you figured out one life rule that you follow?
I guess the one life rule that I could think of is just try the best that you can. Kind of piggybacks off, or a little bit like yours. Try the best that you can in whatever you do, and also I don't know if this is a life rule or whatever. It's something that I guess you can call it a life rule because I do live by it. I want anybody that I meet to be better than me at whatever, at anything. Just be a better version. Be the best version that you could be yourself, but also try to be better than who I am. There's people that are like, oh, I want to be the best in the world, blah blah blah. I don't want anybody. I'm afraid of competition. That's not me. I don't want to be the best in the world. I really don't. That being the best in the world at anything, really, the thought of it depresses me and scares me. That's not saying that I want you to be depressed instead. It's more just I want other people around me to be more successful than I am, or than I will be, because I encourage people to just be the best and work hard at your goals. And for the most part I was a leader in I was in management. I worked alongside other people. A lot of the people that I supervised ended up becoming supervisors or in management positions. I was also a leader in my orchestra in high school, so I was kind of I guess I have leadership experience that I know how to utilize. And I just want people to do the best that they can, but also at the same time have fun, be serious when it needs to be serious, when you need to be serious. But really, just I have an emphasis on having fun. I want everybody to just have fun, enjoy what you're doing. Don't be miserable, and just be better than me. Don't be just don't be me. Don't be me. That's the I guess the philosophy I guess that I live by. If that really makes any sense. I don't really know. I'm not really sure how to put that in the words. So, I
mean, I understand what you're saying. I disagree with what you're saying. Again,
yeah.
I'm also somebody who likes to just kind of disagree with a lot of those things because they don't necessarily vibe with how I think. I agree with not wanting to be the best in the world. Because if you're the best in the world, then what do you have to chase? A number.
That's why I don't want to be the best in the world.
I don't want to chase a number. I want to chase a person. When you're running in a race, it's a lot easier to chase to follow behind a person and keep pace than it is to follow a number and keep pace. That's why you'll see races have rabbits. They're called a rabbit. So the unofficial world record marathon right now is sub 2 hours. There's only one of them ever run. It was on an extremely flat course. That was just, it looked like a lollipop. That's genuinely how I would describe it. It looked like a big old lollipop. And the guy had pacers the entire time. They'd switch off pretty often because think about it. A sub 2 hour marathon, that's a sub 5 minute mile for 26.2 miles.
You're right, man.
They're trying to get this guy to do it. If he was chasing somebody for that entire time, they'd beat him. That's terrifying to think of. But they had pacers for the entire race. Why? Because you can keep cadence with them pretty easily by just literally looking at them as you're running. Because that's just how the human body's set to be. If I'm looking at a tree, running towards it, Eventually, I'm going to hit the tree. Whether or not I pass through the tree is the question. And that tree is the number. Usain Bolt retired because he had nobody to chase. I'm not kidding when I say that. He retired because he had nobody to chase at the age of, what was he, like 30? In 2016, I think?
Early 30. If he was in his 30s, it was early 30s, I believe.
Early 30s.
He only had like
28,
two
really
Olympics,
close to
two or
that.
three Olympics.
Three.
Was
Beijing.
08 his first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then he set the world record in 2009. He set the world record 7 years before he retired. Why do you think? Why do you think he never passed that?
Well, lack of competition.
He had nothing to chase.
Yeah.
It wasn't even, I wouldn't even say lack of competition. He just had nothing to chase. And that's the problem.
So my whole saying lack of competition is wrong. What I'm trying to say is like, I think maybe you and I resonate on this about not wanting to be the best, because there always needs to be somebody or something better than you
To push you.
Yeah, to motivate you to be better. And once you are at the top, and I've been there. I've been there at at something. I've been the best at something, and then when I got there, it's like, oh yeah, this is cool. But then I'm left. What's next? This is if you spend. The scary part of it is if you spend and dedicate an entire amount of your life to one goal, and then you reach that goal if that goal is to be the best. I feel like there's this temporary pride about it, but then you quickly realize that, damn, I spent all this time now. What's next? What do I do next? Where do I go from here? That would be something that I would guess, but I could be wrong there too.
I think it depends. A situation like Usain Bolt, he was kind of a bad example and kind of not at the same time, because he always said that his goal was to be the best. Not the greatest, but the best. And he always was the best, genuinely. From 2007 to 2016, he was the best. Mo Farah. Mo Farah is a 10K runner from the UK. He said that his goal is always to win an Olympic gold medal. Technically, that makes him the best. Doesn't have to have the world record. Who cares about world records? Puts your name in a book, yeah.
But they
Doesn't
get
get you
broken.
money.
They get broken. Nobody can take a medal away from you unless you dope. Unless you dope or
Unless
do
you're
something.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 2012 gold medal, that's his. He has that. Nobody else does. Nobody else can. All because he played it smart. And he was a runner that ran for medals rather than time. He would be in third or fourth up until the last 800, and then he would kick it into gear. And that's always where he excelled. But then you've got somebody like Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt is just head over. No. What's the phrase?
Head over heels?
No.
No. Miles ahead? I don't know.
Head and shoulders? No.
Few and far between? I don't know.
Dude was just a fucking freak. That's it. He was he's what, 6'4", 6'5"?
He's a tall guy.
Extremely tall. In fact, before Usain Bolt, it was believed that the best sprinters were always short. Why? Because they could have a quicker natural turnover time. Well, he comes around, has the same turnover rate as guys like Justin Gatlin, Jacob Blake, all of these top-tier sprinters that have been caught doping, by the way. Usain Bolt has had medals stripped because of other people on his team doping.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Gatlin got caught doping. He blamed it on a masseuse one time. She rubbed a steroid cream on me. Dude, fuck off. Fuck out of here. These guys had incredible turnover rates because they'd trained themselves to be able to do that. Usain Bolt comes in, he's able to do that. Here's the problem. He takes a total of 13 less steps than them, and that's not a random number. That's a fact. You know what's going to happen if you take 13 less steps than somebody? You're going to cover so much more ground. It's crazy. That's the kind of thing, right? Usain Bolt wanted to be the best. He's the greatest of all time, solely because of just the sheer dominance that he had. But that's not what his goal was. And I think that's the difference between chasing people, chasing goals, chasing numbers, whatever. Literally, genuinely whatever. You being the best in the world works sometimes. But being the best isn't how I want to do it. Because when I'm the best, I don't have anybody to chase. I don't have anybody to tell me, this is better for this reason. Or you should do this because of this reason. And the day that I stop learning is the day that I become worse. Everybody else will catch up.
Well said. Very well said right there. That last sentence right there is something that I also think about too.
All right. We're going to do one more question each, and then we're going to close out tonight's episode. There are 30 questions on this, by the way, but we're going to get 1/5 of the way through tonight.
Which means we got content for further episodes.
Content for like 4 more episodes, guys.
Woohoo.
Wow. All right. Jason, what is your dream job?
Dream job. Oh man, that is for somebody that changes their mind quite frequently. It's tough to say. I guess my dream job for sure, like that I can just think off the top of my head. Either, a touring musician, like, that gets big, sells out arenas and just brings the energy, or be the person, running the concerts. Because when I was in high school, I used to run my orchestra concerts. I know, orchestra concert, what's there to run? We used to incorporate some electronic instruments into our concerts at sometimes. So I spent a lot of time with sound design, with the stages, and
I see you walking out there with the electric mandolin.
I actually had an electric viola. My electric viola is in that corner back there. So I do have.
You're gonna grab it right now.
Right now, okay. I'll grab it right now. Give me.
Don't play it, but grab it.
I'm just gonna grab it. I'll be back.
This is where I whip out my wiener, so that we get super demonetized. Banned. The smile on his face.
The funny part about this is that the final concert that I ever played, and I played this when I was a freshman in college. I wanted to donate this to my music department from back home. They refused. Because they just wanted me to keep on, playing. I'll be honest with you. I haven't used this at all since that day. But and I wasn't even the one that used this. It was a high school student used this last. And I felt like I wanted to pass it on to the actual music department that can actually use it, because I also I want them to have variety too. I want people to understand that music, specifically classical music, isn't just classical music. You can add electronic aspects to it, and I've actually thought about this.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah. Think of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. They took classical music.
You've got Trans-Siberian Orchestra. You've got what's it called? Mad Russian's Christmas.
I've heard that too. I think that's who it is.
You have Christmas Eve Sarajevo. You have, I can't remember what it's called now. It's called like Firefly or something like that.
My point being was just like I wanted to And I actually thought about this just recently this week, like maybe going back to my high school, because I still know my high school instructors for orchestra, going back and saying like, hey, I would like to, because I do study digital sound synthesis and electronic music and electronic instruments and stuff like that, or not electronic instruments, but like the digital soundscape on the side here in my university studies. Actually, I've contemplated declaring music technology as a minor. So
do it, dude. Why not?
I'm not entirely sure yet if that's something that I'm not 100% sure if that's something that I want to declare for sure. But it's something that it's an option out there. It's something that I really liked. And actually, the reason why I went into electrical engineering in the first place was that I wanted to incorporate electronics and instruments or music. And specifically, I remember in my application to the University of Illinois, talked about designing soundboards. Because I used to work soundboards all the time in high school. Or not all the time, but I was more inclined to working soundboards. And
all the time. He never actually went to class.
No.
It was just he just worked soundboard constantly. There was nothing playing. He was just working the soundboard, man.
Yep. So there, even like post high school, I got requests from the orchestra department, from my high school orchestra department, to say, hey, come back. Like, we could use you for helping with mic setup, designing stages and stuff like that. Because I used to be a critical part of setting up stages, setting up lights, and even changing the lights, not like the lights, but the filters. So, we had orange lights that would change to blue during mid-song in one of our orchestra concerts one time, and a large part of it was me, I guess, independently studying alongside my teacher about stage setups and how to program stage setups and all this sort of stuff. And that was something that I really liked doing. Is that my dream job? It's something that I would really enjoy doing, but I don't know for sure if that's like something that I can do forever.
Sure.
So there's that part of it. If I were really saying that, if I wanted to go the actual secure, boring route, power system engineer. Because I'm also fascinated by renewable energy. How do we transition our energy systems from coal to renewable resources like wind and solar? And I'm fascinated by that stuff too. I'm interested in that stuff. Not as cool as a soundstage designer or whatever, or soundboard designer, musical instrument designer. Not as interesting as that, but more secure. Definitely more secure than the arts. Unfortunately, but
Fair.
it is the way it is.
Something about football being more important than C.Y. Stevens. Anyway. So.
In all fairness, C.Y. Stevens is kind of degrading, but
it's also funded by the football program. So.
Yep, it is funded now.
So, I feel like the athletic department has a right to close it down when they're the ones that have been funding it for the past 2 years. Like, that's more than fair.
They have donors,
University was going to shut it down anyway.
They have donors, but they don't have as many donors as football. So that's why. It's unfortunate because I adore C.Y. Stevens. I've been there and for a few concerts, and I was actually backstage for the first time this year. Nothing related to theater. I was just backstage for a blood drive, but yeah, but still, I don't know. For me, it just reminds me of working in stages, and I don't know. I absolutely loved working on stages, and would spend in high school. In high school, I got out at the very weird time of 3:33 p.m.
We got out at 3:32.
That's what I remember. I could be wrong, but
ours was literally a minute earlier.
Yeah,
which is weird.
I would stay behind and work on the stages and stuff like that, and designing and assembling, all the microphones, lights, cables, bringing down the light racks and stuff like that, until about 6 o'clock at night. So I was there for 3 hours doing this stuff, completely unpaid.
Oh, that's like sports level shit.
Yeah. This is when I wasn't in tennis season.
Okay.
But so for you,
my dream job. It's pretty simple. And all 3 people are gonna watch this. They're gonna be like, "It's pretty cring." I want to be a Twitch streamer just because I want to make content for people. I want to make stuff that makes people laugh, stuff that makes people think. I want to use a platform for good. I want to use a platform to try and help people. That's the biggest part of it. I want to have a platform. That way I can help people. But I want to help people any way I can. Whether that's just making videos off of streams that make people laugh from me just screaming fuck every 15 minutes or 15 seconds, depending on what game I'm playing. That's fine. I don't care. If it's me talking about how I grinded my way all the way up to the competitive Counter-Strike scene, that's fine. I don't care. If it's me saying, hey guys, don't shoot people, I don't care. I'm using my platform for what I believe in, to help people. That's what I want. And ever since Mixer died, there's only one big streaming site, Kappa.
Let's get some poggers. Let's get some poggers in the chat. Some poggers.
Yeah, that's it. Much simpler, much more boring answer than you had.
It's not a boring answer. There's a lot of opportunities on Twitch, and
not anymore.
Okay.
I gotta wait until the next big game comes around.
And I'm gonna get a lot of shit for saying this, but also, how big is your chest? That's what matters on Twitch. It seems like now.
Is this big enough?
You gotta show a little bit though too. You gotta start unbuttoning.
You're right.
Yeah. That's how you get by on Twitch. It seems like.
Yeah.
But so is that one reason?
I got the butt though. I got the butt.
Oh, is Finn gonna show the butt? Is Finn gonna show the butt on stream? This is gonna be a first. Oh, there's the butt. He's got the butt. The squats have paid off.
14 years of walking on my toes paid off.
So is that why you wanted to is that one reason why you kind of want to start this podcast? Because this we talked about this in one of the backlog episodes, but
I just wanted to show the butt.
He just wanted to show the butt. That's what he's like. Hey, Jason, let's start a podcast. 3 a.m, sends me a text message. Let's start a podcast. Why? Just to show his butt.
Entirely it.
I'll pass this Twitch channel on to you if we get big. I will leave the show and let you take over and run it. This is gonna be all you. It's gonna be all you.
My tiny heart.
Tiny heart. You seem like you got a big heart.
Cold heart.
You seem like you got a big heart based off of what you said this episode.
Nah, man, I just don't want people to be depressed like me. Come on, this shit sucks.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true.
All right, so that is all that we've got. Oh, I want to show off this leaf that a student gave to me today.
Oh, nice.
They liked how it was red, and I wear a lot of red. So
his students,
it's
man,
very nice.
His students are. I don't know if I would say his entire life, but his students matter to him.
Very much so. I wouldn't work there if I didn't care about the students.
Yeah. So.
But anyway, that's all we have for you guys this week. You can find us on twitch.tv/crunchbar33. You can find us at youtube.com/the fucking channel that you're watching this on. And most importantly, you can find Jason at J_Wrangle33 on Twitter. You can find me at fuck off on Twitter.
I want to know if there's an actual handle like that. Now, I'm not going to look that up right now, but that's up to the viewers.
If there is, actually, I've got Twitter open right now. Let's see.
His serious handle is @Skeedap, unless he has a burner that I don't know about.
Oh, I've got plenty of burners.
And I guess fuck off his other burner account.
It's a thing.
There's a thing.
319 followers. Who are you?
Man.
Yeah.
Listen, there's your homework for tonight if you were watching this live or if you were watching this post release. There's your homework. Go follow @fuckoff on Twitter.
There you go.
And if you don't have a Twitter, make a Twitter so you can also follow
Make a
Austin
Twitter
J.
so you can follow
Roberts.
them. Slide into his DMs.
Yep.
If you're just a person. That's it. That's it. But to close out the show, that's all we have for you this week. We're going to make more of these. If you don't like it, sucks to suck, I guess, because we really don't care about the numbers, or at least we're trying not to. If you have any questions, if you have ideas for shows, if you want to come on the show, hit us up on Twitter. DMs are open. We're not big enough for the DMs to be closed. As always, stay safe. Have fun. Roll clones.
And roll credits. Thank you to Lab Potato for hopping in the stream. Like I'll echo what Finn said. Stay safe. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Look after each other. Also, if you suspect that you've been around close contact with somebody who has tested positive for COVID, please get a COVID test. We're not doing well as a nation, so let's do our best to mitigate those efforts of or mitigate the spread of COVID. Do your best to really take care. I know the holidays are coming up. Please stay safe. Please stay safe. On that note, you guys have a good night. Thanks for hopping in. Bye-bye.